Hello, I'm Rita Schiano, and I'm pleased to present my final presentation on creating collegiate connectedness in online education. Now, while academics are the foundation of the college experience, the relationships and friendships that develop are buttresses that can last a lifetime. In the study of resilience, attention is given to the impact of social connectedness in our building of our resiliency. Connectedness has been identified as the process that facilitates resilience in people. In my research for this project, I found an article in the Annual Review of Public Health entitled Adolescent Resilience, a Framework for Understanding Healthy Development in the Face of Risk. And this was written by Fergus Stevenson and Mark Zimmerman, and it was published in the Annual Review of Public Health. In that article, they write, and I quote here, experiencing a positive and satisfying sense of connection to others, a sense of attachment, active involvement, and engagement with family, peers, school, and neighborhood has been found to play a strong role in youth psychological adjustment. And additional research indicates, too, that there may be a relationship between social connectedness and anxiety, self-esteem, and social identity in women. Students in face-to-face learning environments have the opportunity to experience that positive and satisfying connection that Zimmerman and Stevenson spoke of to others, whereas in online learning, developing and maintaining social connectedness poses some challenges. This presentation explores whether offering live connection time can build a greater sense of connectedness and relationship between classmates. In my 12 years teaching in the one-day program for BayPath, what I have seen time and time again are remarkable friendships develop. The majority of the women in my classrooms were often single moms coming back to school to make a better life for themselves and for their children. Through sharing their thoughts and experiences, ideas, and insights about the topics we explored in the classes, I saw relationships develop, and those relationships often continued long past the class ended and even after graduation. For I see a lot of these interactions and get-togethers via Facebook. Now, as I'm teaching Well 220 online this session, as I'm taking this course, I thought it would be an excellent opportunity for me to test out my thesis here of whether or not synchronous gatherings could be helpful. And so I used the tool that we have available to us called Zoom. So what I did was I posted the following in the announcements section of my class. I said that I would like to offer them an opportunity for us all to be online together with audio and video ability to see one another, meet and talk in real time. Now, I told them very clearly that this was not an assignment, they were not expected to participate, that no grade was going to be given, but it was simply an opportunity to meet and talk. I told them if they were interested to reply in the announcement section below, and to make it available, what I did was I offered 3 different times. Beginning on Sunday, November 25th, we had a session that started at 7:30 p.m. going to 8. A second session was on Tuesday, the 27th of November, also from 7:30 to 8. And then I posted a third one on Thursday, November 29th from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. because I knew I did have some students who worked nights. Now, I have to admit I was a little bit worried because I wasn't sure how I was going to get a conversation going among the students. The first night, there were 3 people participating, 2 students and me. And on the second night, there were 6 students plus myself, and then I had a couple of repeats, people who were there on Tuesday who also, on Sunday, who also decided to join in again on Tuesday. And I got to tell you, it was quite an amazing experience. With that gallery function in Zoom, people were able to see and talk to each other at the same time. And I no longer needed to worry at all about what I was going to get the conversation going about, because within about a minute or so, they just started talking with each other. And not just talking about the class, their talks were personal. They wanted to know more about each other. How did they get to Bay Path? What made them choose this college? How many of them had children? Where did they live? Where did they go on vacation? I remember one student, when she signed on, the first thing she did was adjust her camera, stand up, and show everyone her belly, because it turned out she was 9 months pregnant and expecting her first child here in December. And it was wonderful. So many of the women just started telling her, don't worry, you're going to do fine. I know it's your first baby and you want to stay with school. And they offered her so much support and advice. What was wonderful, too, was several of them realized that they lived within about 30 minutes or so of each other. And so they started to exchange phone numbers. They arranged to meet for coffee so that they could get together in person. One student who was living in the Carolinas felt very badly that she couldn't do it. However, she did include her phone number, and they all did agree to keep talking with one another. I was also asked if I would, I suggested that I might do another one again before the class was over. However, what I've decided to do is not to put it for this week, because they all have 5 assignments due by Saturday. So I'm going to post sometimes for next week, once all the classwork is done and they'll feel more free to get together and talk. Several of the students suggested, and the others agreed, that it would be wonderful if this would be something I would do at the start of a class, so that they could see each other and hear each other. And I thought it was a really good idea, and it is something I look forward to doing when I have my next online class. The other part that I found interesting was that in the 2 weeks since we did this little demonstration with each other, I found that the students who had interacted live in their online discussion threads, there was a much more personal nature to their responses. There was more of a sense of knowing each other in reference to having talked to one another. So I think that this is something worth considering for online education. Zoom is an excellent opportunity. With that gallery feature, you can have 25 people available to talk at one time. The reason Zoom does have a record option, but I did not use that to include in this presentation, simply because I wasn't sure how to go about this in terms of privacy issues. This was something that I would need to explore further. All in all, I thought it was an excellent experiment. I think this is a way that we can create that social connectedness that I long to give my students. I want to thank you all very much for your time, and I look forward to your comments. Thank you.